I'm currently finishing up my PhD at Leibniz Institute for Zoo and Wildlife Research, and but also I'm having coordinating many camp and surveys in Vietnam in the last decade. So today I will present you our evolution of camp in Vietnam from small-scale surveys into national biodiversity monitoring. So I would like also highlight that. So this is not my own work. So I am standing here on behalf of many organizations, research institutions, and also many forest management boards in Vietnam who are really dedicated in wildlife research and conservation. So why do we need wildlife monitoring? So Vietnam is like one of 196 parties who already signed CBD. And in the Article 7, already CBD already with every member, country member to inventory biodiversity and also monitoring biodiversity. In response of that, Vietnam set a priority on monitoring biodiversity and also set up a database system around the country. So only outlines in the fifth report that Vietnam sent to CBD. So, however, so in the report, in 2019, so we report to CBD that there is no long-term systematic comprehensive plan on monitoring and elevating biodiversity across the country. Yes, so that's why our government issued the decree 2067 on focus on like inventory and monitoring, establishing and reporting on national database on diversity by 2030 with a vision to 2050. So here is some the milestone in that degree. So from like 22 to 25. So we want like 100% of international recognized PA have biodiversity monitoring program, and from 2025 to 2030, so on protected area biodiversity monitoring program, and then to 2050, so biodiversity monitoring program across entire country, and then we have national biodiversity database protocol and biodiversity inventory and monitoring that we have like well developed and implemented. So what is biodiversity for Vietnam? So every Vietnamese is talked about our forest, diverse wildlife, and also has abundance of wildlife. Unfortunately, this is not true anymore. Sadly, also not many Vietnamese recognize that our wildlife is heavily depleted. So in Vietnam, our wildlife defaunated, heavily defaunated, caused by unsustainable hunting, and especially from snaring. So many large-size animals now become extremely rare, or some of them even like functional extinct. So, and because at Harvard here know that a large mammal has an important role in maintaining ecosystem. And then transforming from intact community into like defaulted community. So that means like the loss of many large-sized animals, like and the conservancy will affect to the balance of ecosystem and also affect to ecosystem services and then that affect to us human beings. So, and then globally to monitor wildlife, carbon capture is one of the key tools, and globally having you widely and in recent you. So here is the map of carbon capture survey in Vietnam that I am aware of before 2014. And you could see here most of the survey, targeted survey, small-scale survey, solely focused on highly resistant species, example for Saula in the northern and central Andaman, or rhino in Cacti National Park. And at this time, modern camera survey mainly for inventory and for to combine into like species. Here I bring back the slide what we set priority in the report to CBD in 2014. At the same time, in 2014, we in cooperation with WWF and also with Batma National Park, Saula National Reserve in the Central Andaman, we carried out the first large-scale systematic capture survey in the central Vietnam. So this marked a very important shift. So now our capture shifted from small-scale survey, mostly for species inventory, to large-scale survey for wildlife monitoring for long term. And then this is our effort, and we work with many NGO research institutions and also like many forest management boards abroad Vietnam, and out of 10 years. So our data set now become one of the largest capture data sets in Southeast Asia with more than 2,600 capture stations, and with total like more than 500 capture nine and entire capture system over more than 1.6 billion hectare forest in Vietnam. So when we had the data, we also realized that difficulty to find the right tool to handle and analyze such a large data set like that. And recognize that, so our group as IGW, we developed tool that could help handle, manage the data, and also analyze data, especially analyze data under privacy modeling framework. So example here, the capture bucket. So we just released the new capture version 3. So in this version, we have dashboard interface so that it could help you easily analyze data. So there are some good, most of the workflow could be implemented in this new capture bucket, including from mapping species activity pattern, accumulation curve, and also you could do more complicated modeling like single species occurrency, and also you could do more complicated community occurrency, and also you could do the prediction. Also, we realize that for non-remote sensing expert, to get the remote sensing data to the cooperate is another challenge that we develop, like example here, on Google engine app, so that you could easily download and calculate vegetation ETC at the pixel basis. So, and then when the analysis in place, here, yeah, example about the result from our monitoring capture, yeah. So this is a part of larger USAID funded biodiversity conservation project in Vietnam that you could see in the block here. The species is slightly increased across many sites in 21 sites in this project. So on Thursday, our colleague from WWF will present more detail on that. So this is a slide that I used 2 years ago, also in a conference. So in this, we set up our vision on the expansion of captain survey, the system captain survey in Vietnam. And you see now that by the end of 2025, we already conducted system captain in more than 50 study sites. And just within last week, when after the meeting with our colleagues, I also realized that there are more surveys have been conducted across the country. So this number of 50 sites is already our date. So and now for the next report to CBD, Vietnam could easily report it to CBD. So unfortunately, all of the effort that I had just presented here is the growing from bottom-up effort driven by NGO research institutions and from many foreign management boards, so without an official national program. So to upscale that into like national wildlife oriented program. So what we did, so first we did look to the capacity that we currently have. Currently, we have capacity to conduct the field survey collecting the data. So we could also like partly manage the data, but unfortunately for the data analysis, so we still did the support from the international research, international scientific institute. So in general here, honestly, I would say that we Vietnamese, we are just data collector at the moment. Another issue that we don't have centralized data, and also sometimes the coordinating fully communicated. I sometimes see that like several organizations, research institutes, planning or conducting the campaign in the same study site. So it kind of waste of effort and resources. And finally, so most of the activity that I presented here funded nearly 100% of the fund come from international resources. So here is our vision for what should be a national monitoring program, so that where the organizer in Vietnam, Research Institute in Vietnam, could conduct the field research, also could handle the data, and also we could analyze the data. So speaking about analyze data, so what I mean here that in deep the training, so it's not about like 1 or 2 week training, it's about like the training to 30 years. My own experience, it took me already like more than 6 years to master all the skills for the data analysis for capturing data. So that here for the national monitoring program, I strongly suggest that it needs to be within the at first it needs to be within the research institution. So who have staff that instantially trained for data analysis. And of course, we also need to centralize the data, centralize the analysis. And of course, because this is the biodiversity, so this will come from the state object. We need to responsibility for our monitoring program. So to wrap it up, so we had a capacity also the support for the international to start the biodiversity program now. And already we had a well-developed carbon for the carbon monitoring program already working at least in 50 sites. So another big move that we need to consider that we need a national coordination. We also need to centralize the analysis. And with that, all of that, and with the state budget, so our vision for the national program across the country by 2050 is possible, and maybe we could achieve that sooner. So for this, I would like to thank all of our partners and also the sponsors, the donor for the capital survey in the last 10 years. And also, of course, thank you for your attention also.